HPS Warriors. My name is Mrs. Boggs. If you don't know me, I will be your 7th or 8th grade English teacher if this is your first year at HPS. Everyone else, we're excited to welcome you back. We're excited for August 17th. And I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk to you about your school supplies, what you need, how you can get organized, so how you can be successful in middle school. Half the battle is just getting organized and staying organized. So I'm going to go over your supply list, and I'm going to kind of show you how to set up your supplies so that you can be ready to go on the first day of school. Okay? So, either on a RenWeb blast or here in a few days, you will be getting a school supply list in the mail. On the general middle school supply list, it's going to ask you for a 2-inch 3-ring binder, okay? And it can be any kind you want. It can be plain, it can be fancy and decorated, it can be those fancy zip-up trapper keepers, whatever you want. You just need a 2-inch 3-ring binder that you're going to carry around with you to every single class, okay? So you need that, and in that 3-ring binder, you're going to want plenty of loose leaf paper. Now, I recommend getting 3 packs or so. Just put 1 pack in your 3-ring notebook, because if you put too much, then you won't be able to move any of your notebook around. So save the other packs at home. When you need to refill, you can go home, fill it up. You're also going to need 8 folders, and we don't care what kind of folders. You can get the decorative folders, the sports folders, whatever, but you need 1 folder for every class, okay? And I like the plastic folders because they hold up nicely. They don't tear up as easily as the cardboard or the paper ones do. Now, I recommend on every single folder to write your first and last name, and do not write your subject. Don't do that, because if you don't, you're going to be able to keep the folders for a couple years. And also, when your quarters change and your classes change, you're going to have a messed up folder and scratch out the name. So what I recommend doing is just putting block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5, and then those will come in handy for the next several years if you take care of them. Okay, so your 8 folders for 8 blocks and 8 classes, your loose leaf paper, and then you're going to want one of these 3-ring zipper pouches, and these are usually $1 to $2 at the dollar store or Walmart or any school supply place. Okay, so you're gonna put your 3-ring zipper pouch in there, and then you're gonna keep a few things in here. You're always gonna want several pencils and pens. Now, your teachers are gonna want you to use blue or black pens. Or use pencils. So always have plenty of those in there. Again, you don't want to put 15 pencils in there because they're going to get lost and you're not have room enough to use your notebook. You're going to want some red pens for correcting when you grade your own papers or do correcting in class. Those red pens come in handy. You're going to want a couple of highlighters to take notes, to highlight notes, to study with. Those are always really helpful. Sometimes you just use highlighters to help you follow along on a worksheet. You're going to need some dry erase markers. Okay, Expo brand is my favorite. I think they work the best. You're going to use these on those miniature whiteboards that your teacher passes around class. And also sometimes, like in my class, I'll have you diagram sentences right on the tables and we wipe them off. And you can participate with those when you have the dry erase markers. A Sharpie is always handy. So just a black Sharpie, you can use it for lots of things, including labeling all your school supplies, but on projects, on papers, things like that. Kids are always asking for Sharpies. In your zipper pouch, what I recommend is keeping a flash drive. Now, this is my cute little Minion. One of my students had a Minion flash drive, and I liked it so well, I went out and bought one this summer. But you're going to keep your flash drive in your zipper pouch because you're going to use it in computer class. You're going to use it for English class, for social studies class, and what have you, maybe some Bible classes. And then you're going to want to label it somehow. You can either just write your name on your flash drive, or like mine has a little hole, you can stick a tag in it and name it. But you're going to need a flash drive. And a lot of times kids will leave these in computers in the computer lab, and if they're not labeled, then you've lost it forever. So I recommend make sure you put your name on it. You're going to need a pair of headphones if you take a Play-Doh class or some classes you might be working on the computer and you're going to need headphones. I like the little ones because, again, you can just shove them in your zipper pouch and always have them when you need them. you're going to need scissors, all right? It doesn't matter what size, whatever size you like, you can get those scissors, stick them in there and use them for whatever class that you might need them. Now, these are not on your school supply list, but kids are always asking for these. Miss Boggs, do you have another eraser? Miss Boggs, do you have whiteout? So if you want to get your own whiteout and pink erasers to make sure you have it when you need it, you can, because sometimes teachers don't have those supplies. And just shove them in your little zipper pouch. Again, one more school supply list that you need for your average middle school binder supply list is either colored pencils or colored markers, and whichever you like, stick them in there. You're going to need those for different projects or different assignments, especially when you're trying to be creative in color and make things exciting. You're going to need something to design with. That's going to go around with you to every single one of your 8 classes, all right? And if you have what you need in that zipper pouch, you don't lose them, you don't drop your pencils, they're in there for safekeeping, and you're going to travel with this middle school binder. Now, one more school supply list that's on the general middle school supplies is your agenda. Now, you do not have to worry about this because we're going to give this to you on the first day of school. All right, and this is where you're going to write all your assignments and due dates so you can keep track of what you need to do. You have to be really independent in middle school once you come upstairs, and this is going to help you be successful. We'll give that to you on the first day of school, and it's hole punch so that you just keep it right in there. You really don't have to worry about losing it because it's always in your notebook, okay? And then you're going to get used to using this notebook, all right? Say first block you have Bible, okay? And your Bible teacher gives you a homework assignment or something that you're working on or notes. You just stick it right there in the binder, and when you go back to that class or you go home to do your homework, you know exactly where it is. You always put it away where you need it. So you go back to class and he says, hey, I need those notes out, and you pull out your assignment right out of your Bible folder, and you can do that for every single class. You don't want to just shove it in a textbook or shove it in your book bag to get all crumpled and lost. Keep this middle school binder organized, and you'll have everything that you need for all 8 classes, okay? So that's your middle school binder that you're going to take with you to every single class. Now, to move on to English, you're going to need another 2-inch binder. We've used smaller ones in the past, and the kids said they got so full they just couldn't really maneuver it. So this year I've asked for a 2-inch 3-ring binder. Of course, I picked purple. That's my favorite color. And you're going to want one of those binders that have the clear cover, because we're going to put paper in there to let us know what unit we're working on, to keep us focused on what we're learning in English class. All right, in there, you're going to need another zipper pouch. Again, these are like $1, maybe $2 if you buy fancy ones. And in that, you're going to want pens and paper, or pens and pencils, whatever you like to use. On my assignments, I require that you use blue or black pen. I don't like yellow or fluorescent orange or any of that. You're going to need red pens for when we correct our grammar workbooks or editing our papers. That comes in handy. Again, throw a whiteboard marker. Usually buy a pack of 4, so I say stick one in my binder. And then you're going to need 4 colors. You can have highlighters, colored pencils, crayons. It doesn't really matter. But you're going to need a blue, a green, a yellow, and a red, pink, or orange will work. Okay, we're going to call it red. But we write in color, and this helps us to organize our writing. And we use this to underline and circle. You're not really going to be writing with it. So if you want to use a crayon, colored pencil, those will work just fine. You don't even need a sharp crayon, just something to underline with or highlight with. And that's what you're going to need in your English binder. One thing I forgot is you're going to need a pack of Post-its, just those little square Post-its. They can be whatever color you want as long as you can write on them. And that will come in handy when we're reading, when we're writing, when we're doing tickets out the door and all that fun stuff. Again, you're going to want some paper in here. And then you're going to need 5 dividers, 5 subject dividers. And those usually come with these little slips where you can label each tab. And we'll label those the first week of school. Now, my favorite are these plastic pocket dividers. They're my favorite because sometimes if you're in a hurry or you just don't like to constantly open and shut these, which I know that sounds petty, but a lot of kids just despise using the 3-ring binder. You can slip the information that goes in that tab right in your folder and be gone and move on. Okay, so those plastic ones hold up real well, and I just love the pocket ones. Most kids really like them if they have them. The reason why we need 5 is because we will have different dividers for different parts of English. So we'll have like a grammar and a vocab, a reading and a writing, and then the unit tab. And we'll put things in there that we'll keep all year that will help us with our writing and what we're learning, so we can always go back and refer to it. Then you're going to need a purple plastic folder. Okay, I know this is pink. It doesn't really matter, but just language arts, we picked purple. Okay, so you're going to need a folder, and in this folder you're going to turn in projects and papers and reports and maybe book things that you're doing. And I like the folders to turn in projects because sometimes they have multi-parts, so you can turn it all in together and not lose any pieces. All right, so this is your English binder. What you need to know is this binder stays in my class. You put it on a shelf. You have a certain shelf for every one of my blocks has a certain shelf they'll put it on, and you'll leave it in my classroom. So you're not going to be able to have these for science or math or whatever, so you'll have to keep that in mind. So this is the 2-inch 3-ring binder for English. Okay? Now moving on, math, Miss Magnuson is asking you to get a 1-inch 3-ring binder. Okay? 1-inch 3-ring binder. And you're going to put 5 dividers. Again, the plastic ones are my favorite. And you're going to need a red folder. And then you're just going to need pencils. We do not write with pens in math class. So you're going to always have plenty of pencils. But again, if you put that in your middle school binder, you're always going to have your supplies. All right. One more thing that you're going to need for math is a TI-30 calculator. A TI-30 calculator. And those of you in 7th grade have those already. So make sure you bring that back to school. And you'll use that for a couple years. You may have used it even in 6th grade. So that's math, Miss Magnuson's math class. Next we have social studies. And social studies just need a blue project folder. A blue plastic project folder. And then I don't have one. I pulled this out of my cabinet at home. But you're going to need a 5-subject spiral notebook. And a 5-subject is meaning that they have dividers. So this one I think was a 3-subject. But you're going to have 5 little sections and they're all divided with little folders. And that would be for social studies class. Science class, we have a new teacher this year. Her name is Miss Stone. And Miss Stone asked that you would bring another 1-inch 3-ring binder. And she asked for green, just to keep it all the same, that you know green is for science. And she says don't forget to bring your green binder. You'll have it there. So that you'll need the 3-ring binder. You're going to want a composition notebook. Okay? They have all kinds of cool ones at Walmart. All different colors and styles. If you're bored with the black and white, you can get all different cool composition notebooks. You're going to need 3 different color highlighters, okay? I don't think, she said it does not matter what colors you choose. You just need 3 highlighters for her class. And again, you can keep those in your middle school binder so that you always have them in your 3-ring zipper pouch. You're going to need a bottle of glue and 2 dispensers of Scotch tape for her class. All right, so that's what you need for Miss Stone's science classes. She's really excited to meet you all. Then we have Bible. In Bible, you're going to need, once again, a 1-inch 3-ring binder for Bible. Now I know this is a lot of binders, but if you take care of them, I've had students use them for several years in a row. So you can use them and invest in those good 3-ring binders. And in that, you're going to want whatever kind of folder that you would like to use. It doesn't have to be a certain color. It can be whatever you want for Bible. And then, of course, you're going to need your own Bible. You have to bring it to class every day, all right? Get your own Bible, something that you can mark in, put sticky notes in, highlight, circle, whatever. Especially when God shows you a verse and it's powerful. It's okay to write in your Bible. My favorite version is probably the NLT. This one's New King James Version, and I like that one too. The MEV is a new one that's really good. So any Bible